Okay. Ay, palaka. Sige. Good evening. Ay, grabe naman. Thank you naman. All the way from Sweden. Talaga namang ikaw ang aking lucky number 1. Thank you so much. Oh, you know the drill. Share na natin. Okay. Ay, palaka. Okay. Ayan. Whew. Good evening, everybody. Ay, lagay ko lang pala tong ko. For better voice quality, lagay natin yung boya. Okay. Okay. Yan. Good evening, everybody. Para may konting noise cancellation pag naririnig nyo si Kala. Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Tarot Tuesdays again. Yan. Okay, sandali. Ibahin natin. Parang hindi masyadong pantay yun. That's better. Yan. Good evening, everybody. Yan. Okay. Bessie Bianca, hello. Nice of you to join us tonight. O, alam mo na, pag may tanong, sali na. Ayun na yung mga attendance natin. Hello naman, Beshi Tin. Thank you for joining us tonight. Share nyo yung live video para marami tayong matulungan uli. You know the drill. Okay. Woof. Okay. Oh. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Share the live video. Dahil it's gonna be a very fun night tonight. I hope most of you have watched our weekly tarot reading. Madaming blessings for this week, pero may konting warning pa din. So medyo, you know how it is pag ako yung bumubunot ng cards kahit ako napapakapit. And it's really apparent this week again. Today is also a very good day for blessings. I hope you also enjoyed today's blessings. Medyo maganda mga blessings tonight. Today, and tonight meron pa yan. Dahil syempre meron tayong Tarot Tuesday. So, sa may mga katanungan, anything about your love life, your career, and then your health, yun, send them over. Ay, tama, let me type in na nga pala yung guidelines natin. Okay. And okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Polycarp, hello. Thoughts of Sophia about Christopher. Sophia, you mean in Sophia the Great Mother? The sacred primordial feminine energy Sophia. In many belief systems, Sophia has always been present and talked about. Mostly in Hinduism, meron din siyang equal part. Honestly, there are many belief systems that are really intertwined in terms of learnings. And but honestly, mas marami ako natututunan sa Hinduism. That's why I've practiced it fully. So, am I an expert in Sophia? Also, hindi. Mas nag-resonate kasi sa akin yung teachings ng Hinduism. So, since dun siya mas nag-resonate for me, mas yun yung naging focus ko. My learnings and focus, and syempre yung mga researches, and mostly my interest. Kasi for me, it has to be something that clicks or resonates before I dig deeper, or before I fully give my attention to it. And Hinduism, only Hinduism, and Reiki have fully parang tickled my interest that much. Yun. And syempre honest lang, ayoko kasi magbigay ng something na hindi ko fully supported, or I don't want to share something na I'm not confident naman din. That's why I only share the things that I'm fully comfortable sharing, and because there is expertise on that. Otherwise, yung sa mga I leave it to the other experts. Kumbaga. Ayan. Sige, but go ahead if you have any other questions, by the way. So, let's not limit our sessions for tonight. Baka naman meron din kayong questions about spirituality, just like Polycarp, no? So, I'm really also welcoming those questions. Baka naman sakali din kasi na you would want to ask other topics as well, of course, and so long, and provided na syempre alam ko yung sagot, I will answer as honest as I can. But and kapag hindi, sorry na, ayoko din syempre mag-provide ng hindi accurate na information. Pero first of all, good evening everybody. Maraming salamat for joining us again tonight. This is your official Tuesday night habit. This is Tarot Tuesdays. So share nyo na yung live video natin, and then in just a while, we will start our sessions. And syempre, sa lahat ng mga gusto mag-participate, you know how it is. Fastest finger tayo every time, because we will be answering your questions one question at a time, and also first come, first served. And syempre, alam nyo na, no, medyo mabilis ang mga suki natin when it comes to asking questions. And I know some of you may have participated nung Thursday pero hindi nakaabot. Sorry na. Ganyan talaga, mabilisan talaga tayo dito. But ang maganda naman doon, we are always doing this twice a week. So this is our first session for the week. Also, it's gonna be, if let's say wala naman kayong masyadong specific na mga questions, or everything seems pretty going so well, that's very good. But if you would want to know, halimbawa, you would want to gauge how next month or October will unfold, pwede nyo itanong yun. Siyempre, we're approaching ano ba nangyayari? Ang bilis, We're approaching a new month again. We are now approaching October. Wow. So, yan. By the way, baka meron sa inyo may mga special occasions that you would need, yung mga, i-celebrate natin yan. Baka any of you are celebrating their birthdays tonight or today, yan. Sige, i-celebrate natin yan. Kahit mga mansari, ganyan. No? Happy mansari kay i-shoutout na yung mga mansari ninyo. Masaya yan. Magkiligan tayo tonight. So, yan. So, maraming salamat ulit for joining. So, tignan, may mga pumapasok may mga pumapasok na tayo agad na mga, ayun na mga questions. So, ayun na, sunod-sunod na. So, make sure if you are wanting to participate in tonight's session, madali lang, all you need to do, nakalagay na yan sa ating pinned post in our comment section. So all you need to do is share the live video in your social media. It can be Facebook, it can be your Instagram, or Snapchat. Snapchat ba? Twitter? Pwede naman. Basta take a screenshot that you've shared it in your social media, and then send it to our inbox in our official Facebook page. It's at Everyday Reiki with Marky. And then, yun na. Pwede na tayo magtanong officially. And, hello naman, Master. Hello, Lariel. Thank you. Thank you for joining us yan. Suki yan. Nandito na ang ating mga friends from Mega World. And asan na yung ano natin? Asan na yung mastermind ng Mega World? Asan na si Rain? Nandiyan na ba si Rain? By the way, congratulations kay Lariel dahil meron na siyang nandiyan na si Lemon. Okay? Nandiyan na si Lemon, yung kanyang bagong baby na si Lemon. Congratulations, di ba? Well deserved, well deserved. Okay. Alam mo, by the way, since ang dami nang pumapasok ng mga questions, magsimula na tayo para naman marami tayong magtulungan for tonight. And so, for those who are new here, welcome po. This is gonna be an amazing night, and our session will always start with a prayer. And I am a practicing Hindu, so I will be singing. I will be saying and chanting my prayers in Hindu. Now, no matter which belief system or religion you're following, I highly encourage for you to join me in prayers. Let us all pray for guidance, protection, and wisdom for tonight's session. Lalong-lalo na sa mga gustong mag-participate for tonight. Okay? Okay, so let's go ahead and feel God's presence. Okay. Om. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshvara, Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshvara, Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshvara, Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Wow. Ay, kala ko wala na kayo. Andiyan pa ba? Joke lang. Pumikit lang, nawala na. Okay, good evening everybody. My name is Marky Mendoza. I'm a Reiki master and teacher and also an intuitive tarot reader and teacher. And welcome to your official Tuesday night habit. This is Tarot Tuesdays. Una-una, maraming salamat sa lahat dahil pagdilat ko nandyan pa rin kayo. Okay, tandali. Ay sure si Lemon. Si boss po nasa kainan pa. Ay sure, muntik mo na malaglag na. Nasa kainan si si Rain. Ayan, okay. So very good yan. Ikain na lang niya kamo ako. I-celebrate natin yan. I'm sure ang dami yung sinicelebrate. Okay, so good evening ulit. This is your official Tuesday night habit and this is going to be a very meaningful session. So kung may mga bago sa inyo dito, welcome po. And this is really a very, very safe space for everybody. Everybody is welcome. So kung kayo po ay may mga katanungan, anything about your love life, love life, hindi ko to Lariel ha. May questions sa love life and also mga health na mga concerns natin. And also kung meron tayong katanungan sa ating career, go ahead and send them over. Libre lang magtanong here in our Tarot Tuesday. So all you need to do, nakalagay din sa pin post yung ating instructions. So i-share lang natin yung live video natin in your social media and then take a screenshot of that and then send to our official Facebook page inbox. That's Everyday Reiki at Marky. And then yung rules po natin, first come, first serve po tayo and then one question at a time para po ang gagawin natin. I know some of you may have several questions for tonight and ready naman tayong sagutin ng mga yan. So long as we will always give fair chances for everybody sa lahat ng mga gusto mag-participate tonight. So, kung meron tayong mga several questions, uunahin muna natin yung first question ninyo, and then uubusin muna natin yung queue, and once we're done, we can go back for a run-through ng other questions or a follow-through of those other questions natin. Para syempre, we will always make sure na we have equal opportunities for everybody. Now, rest assured na here in Tarot Tuesdays, we will always honor and respect your identity. So, sa lahat na magtatanong, okay lang yan. Go ahead, keep asking those questions. And hindi ko naman po binabanggit kung sino yung mga ating participants for tonight. All we need to do is just read out the questions. Okay? So, babasahin lang natin yung questions. And then, para naman you will take confidence na kung ano man yung mga kailangan nating mga experiences sa buhay na kailangan ng clarity, is that you will always feel welcome to share it, no matter how sensitive or challenging it is. Kasi here, especially here in our YouTube channel, ang priority natin is makatulong tayo ng makatulong. So, sa mga gusto mag-participate, ito na yung ating tarot deck. I will always be using our Golden Tarot deck by Cat Black, and this is my favorite tarot deck for our sessions. And may dalawang klase ng cards sa ating tarot cards, major cards and minor cards. So kung yung question nyo, ang mabunot natin will be major cards. Naku, napakaganda niyan. It's going to be a very clear, either it's a blessing or can be a warning. Kung minor cards, hindi naman ibig sabihin hindi siya maganda. Meron lang tayong mga asikasuhin, paplansyahin sa mga strategy natin so that it will manifest better. And also, pwedeng divine timing na ang kailangan natin. Now, sa mga gusto naman magtanong, may mga certain guidelines din po tayo. And unang-una, ano ba binabasa natin when it comes to tarot reading? Saan ba binabase yung ating energy? Ayun, yun ang clue natin sa energy. Now, what is comprised of our... Ang taas naman ng pitch. What's comprised of your energy? And there are 3 elements comprised of your energy. And lahat to current, okay? So, current thoughts, the things that we are processing in our thoughts, and yung mga pinaprocess natin, next is our current decision. So that means sa mga pinaprocess natin, alin doon yung na-narrow down natin ng mga decisions. And from those decisions na pinagpaprocess pa natin, what will you take action for? And then yung kapag, when we start taking action on it, it will now be subjected to the spiritual universal law of cause and effect. And we also know it as for us Hindus, we call it karma. And in the Christian and the Catholic faith, we call it the golden rule. Do not do unto others what you don't want to be done unto you. So, anything po na mga gagawin natin and anything na pinaprocess natin in our thoughts, in our decisions, in our actions, yun po yung magiging subject for cause and effect. So, kung ano man ang magiging card na mabubunot natin, depende sa mga tanong, depende rin sa magtatanong yan, wag po kayong mag-alala. Kasi kung ano man po yung mga makikita natin, no matter what will unfold, whether it's good o kailangan natin na mag-ingat, rest assured that there is always a way for us to improve that. Kung maganda yung makuha natin na reading, ibig sabihin, pwede pa natin siyang pagandahin. How? To improve your thoughts, your decisions, and actions. Mas gaganda pa siya. Or mas bibilis pa siya. Now, if there are certain warnings, ano naman ang pwede natin gawin? We will shift our thoughts, our decisions, and actions para hindi natin siya ma-manifest. Now, by the way, some of you may have questions about other people or relationships, concerning other people. It can be friends, family, romantic relationships. Pero one thing that you should know, since nga ang basis natin ng reading natin will be coming from your energy, ibig sabihin the most accurate na mga readings na makukuha natin will be kung sino yung magtatanong, sa kanilang energy ko rin hahanapin yung sagot because they are in full control of their thoughts, decisions, and actions. Now, just in case, imagine nyo kung halimbawa yung tanong is concerning another person, kumbaga naghahanap, yung tanong is, yung instead of me looking for the answer sa energy mo, kung yung sagot hahanapin ko sa ibang tao, tapos wala naman silang awareness and wisdom that I will be doing that, look at it this way, it will be a case of overstepping na para tayong naninilip ng bahay ng ibang tao na wala tayong permiso. And every single time that I do that, may karma yun. Yung karma hindi mapupunta sa nagtanong, doon sa sumagot. Okay? So tama na po. Ang dami-dami. Nakapag-buffet na ako ng karma. Okay? So iba naman. Kailangan puro maganda na yung gagawin natin. And so, do not hold back still. na sa mga katanungan na relationships ang concern. Because kahit naman relationships yung concern natin o yung question natin, mayroon pa rin paraan para matanong natin yan and para masilip natin yung possibility without getting karma. And that is by including the energy nung nagtanong. So, lahat ng person involved dun sa question natin, isasama-sama and paghahati-hatian natin yung mga energies ninyo para walang karma. And that in itself, pwede na natin itanong. May konting reminder lang dyan. Since hahati-hatiin natin yung energies ninyo. Any single time, I mean, even right after our reading session, tapos the people involved in the question, biglang nag-shift ng thoughts, ng decisions and actions, may possibility na naman magbago yung ating results. Why? Kasi, remember, everything that we are basing from, lahat ng possibilities na paghuhugutan natin ng energy will always be based on their current energy. And any given time, may mag-switch ng energies doon sa people involved, pwede na mag-shift yung possibilities at the same time. Now, bakit na naman? Dahil nga, only you are in control of your own energy. Anyone else and everyone else outside of who you are, hindi natin makokontrol. But then again, at least meron tayong guidance. We will have an idea on what to do. And para po sa lahat ng mga gustong mga gusto mag-participate, go ahead and participate. Pero kung gusto lang po nating wala naman tayong katanungan and hindi tayo magpa-participate, okay lang po. Maganda pa rin naman and to really finish the whole session dahil every single time that I share my guidance to everybody, I see to it na yung mga guidance na yun is something that you can also apply in your personal life. And I really make sure na very universal yung ating guidance para naman kahit na wala kayong masyadong kasi may mga ganun talaga minsan, no? At the moment, napakaganda ng flow ng buhay, ng lahat ng aspeto ng buhay. And it really does happen. Now, it also allows you to prepare or to gear towards these experiences in the future. Mas makakapag-prepare tayo para kung wala pa yung ganyang sitwasyon sa buhay natin, well and good. Pero in case na this will happen in the future, at least you are geared. Okay? So, ayan po ang ating mga guidelines for tonight. Sorry na, ang daldal ko. Napakahaba ng mga sinasabi ko. Sandali. Okay. Whenever I hear your prayers, sir, you stir my heart, nakakaiyak. Alam mo, that prayer kasi is a very strong prayer to, it's a prayer to honor the gurus. Okay, so it's like, and for us teachers, every single time, no matter what kind of teacher you are, you may be in the academe or an expert of your own, of your own craft, and then you also teach. Okay, of course you're a teacher. Not also that, our own experiences. These are thank you, baby. Shush, nakalandi pa. Thank you. Yan. So, anong tawag dito? Even our own direct experiences, these are all our teachers as well. So when you say that prayer and when you pray that mantra, you really allow all the wisdom to flow in you as well. And if you resonate on that, and even if nakakagulat, no, kahit na hindi natin alam yung lyrics, actually kahit ako, I may be a practicing Hindu, pero do I understand 100% lahat ng mga mantras, lahat ng mga prayers na sinasabi ko? I honestly don't. But because you don't really have to understand it like verbatim, all you need to do is to listen to the vibration, to the sounds, and then somehow, somewhere, deep inside your core, your heart, your soul will simply recognize the same vibration because those vibrations are truly our core. And so kahit na hindi tayo familiar sa kanya, every single time that we hear it and every single time that our body responds well to the vibration, of course, everything else in your mind, body, and soul magre-reflect din yan. So kung si Amor, kung yan yung na-feel mo kanina, very good, very good. Okay, so simulan na natin yung session natin for tonight. Again, first come, first serve po tayo. So tingnan na natin ang ating lucky first participant. Okay. By the way, I know some of you, I'm already friends online in Facebook. Hindi po ako nag-check ng what do you call this, ng personal account ko. Naka-focus lang ako sa ating Facebook page para streamlined lahat ng ano natin. And maybe some of you may be sharing there yung mga proof ng mga ng screenshots. If you don't have Facebook, let me know kung saang social media ninyo. Maybe we're following each other in Instagram so that doon ko makikita. If maybe you've sent a direct message in my Instagram, just type in the comment section and then para tayo ng mag-check niya. Ay, saktong-sakto naman. Okay, saktong-sakto. I want to acknowledge the presence of the Mega World Princess. Okay. Okay, andyan na si Rain. Thank you so much. Nabusog ka ba? I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy na nakapag-celebrate kayo tonight. Magandang-maganda yan. Okay, and welcome. Nakahabol tayo sa Tarot Tuesdays. Okay, so eto na. Meron na tayong lucky na first na participant in our session. Okay. So, tingnan na natin. Hi Marky, ask ko sana kung worth it na mag-resign na ako sa work ko and uwi na muna akong Pinas habang nag-aasikaso ng pang-migrate sa UK. Sobrang nakaka-drain na kasi ang duty ko and homesick na din ako. Ay, naku po. I feel you. Ako, ganyan talaga kapag the work that we need to do, anong tawag dito, is really taking too much toll na sa atin because syempre meron din maganda kasi may ina-anticipate ng blessing tong ating current participant. So maganda. Pero syempre maganda na before you make these types of decisions that are very, very crucial. Syempre, imagine mo, no? The waiting game, yung pag-process natin ng yung processing time natin ng pag-migrate natin, etc. It also not just takes time, it also takes a lot of effort to process, no? So, sige, maganda yung tanong na yan. Tingnan natin kung anong sasabihin ng ating cards for tonight. Which, by the way, sa mga hindi pa nakakapansin dyan, no? My shirt right now is actually is actually a tarot card shirt. Ayan. So, this is really one of the major cards in the tarot deck. And this is the original. This is Rider-Waite. And we have this. So, cute lang. Ayun lang. So, tingnan na natin yung first participant natin, yung question natin. Okay. Worth it na daw ba mag-resign? Tingnan natin. Okay. Okay, very good. And as I mentioned earlier, na maganda gumawa ng mga ganyang before you make any decision, it's really always best to consult. And you know what, similarly, baka po iniisip nyo hindi ko ginagamit sa akin to. You know what, akong sarili kong suki when it comes to these abilities, no. When I would want to make a decision, hindi po ako gumagawa ng kahit anong galaw na hindi ko binabasa yung cards. For me, syempre, these experiences the abilities rather that we have, it really allows us to plan better. So ganito lang, before I share the reading dun sa ating first participant, sa lahat na magpa-participate tonight, I'm pretty sure when we are going to ask our questions, ang pinaka nagiging ending lang naman is either we are looking at the possibility, will it be a favorable or a not so favorable na response. Now, ang sabi ko nga sa guidelines natin, honestly, it does not matter. Honestly, it does not matter kung ano yung kalalabasan natin. Because if it's a blessing, hindi naman porky na sobrang clear na blessing siya, we may feel complacent about it. Okay? And kasi, what has brought or manifested that blessing is because you have given it a good energy. Kaya natin siya na-manifest. Now, in short, kapag na-manifest na natin, pero hindi naman natin na-maintain yung energy, may chance din for us to not manifest it further. Or, kumaga, makuha man siya sa atin, pero hindi pang matagalan. O kaya may ma-manifest man tayo, pero saglit lang. And then we need to start over again. So, syempre, we have to keep going. We have to keep going. We have to keep providing consistent good energy. So, that's really one key. Now, similarly, kung hindi naman ganun ka-favorable, and then, kasi minsan ganito siya minsan fixed na rin yung mga gusto natin na gawin. Okay, that no matter we get guidance, it can be in a form of advice from your closest friends or your loved ones or maybe your romantic partner, even if nakapag-isip na kayo ng maigi. Pero and now that you've checked the cards tapos hindi pala siya favorable pero talagang gustong-gusto nyo nang gawin, of course, do not stop yourself. Okay, do not stop yourself. Why? Dahil whenever we already feel something, tandaan natin, hindi mame-measure ng ibang tao on how we really go through our own individual experiences. These people around us may have an idea kung anong pinagdadaanan natin, but tayo lamang yung talagang makakaranas ng totoong experience na yan. In short, if it's entailing ultimate blessings, tayo yung pinaka-directly mag enjoy niyan. And if it's also in the opposite side, if we're gonna be going through pain and suffering, tayo lang mismo yung talagang makakaramdam niyan. And so tayo lang yun din at in the end, that's why at the end, there may be very good guidance and wisdom na bibinigay sa atin. And you know what? I even say this, even if it's the Pope himself who's given you the blessing or given you the guidance, at the end of the day, syempre kayo pa rin na masusunod. Similarly, hindi ko whenever we have sessions here, there's no obligation. There's no obligation for you to really follow what I'm going to share. At least, meron kayong idea on what's coming, especially in these cases na hindi na masyadong favorable, may mga certain warnings tayo, but then you are still naka-mindset ka na you're gonna push forward and you're gonna keep continuing that decision, walang problema. Because remember, no matter how things will unfold, will it be a blessing or a warning, meron tayong continuous responsibility to keep improving our energy. Because now, babalik na tayo dun sa ating first participant, you have a Two of Swords here. And ito yung card natin. Okay. So imagine, dito maganda. Yan. Imagine that. So parang if you can see the imagery doon sa ating cards, the lady dun sa card, merong hawak na dalawang sword and then naka-cross sa may neck, in which parang yung positioning niya, it may entail that it can be a little painful or it can be a little challenging to handle. Now, in the tarot cards kasi, when we get the swords as a minor card, may dalawang possible meaning yan. It can be an actual wisdom. You will be receiving wisdom or you have the wisdom, especially kapag hawak. However, it can also entail that it is an actual weapon. This case, it's an half and half. Half of it is wisdom, half of it is pain and suffering, possible pain and suffering, because not just financially, okay, not just financially, but anong tawag dito, there are still things that needs to be fixed in terms of your current job na pag nabitawan natin, it can also burn bridges or it can also be a challenge na to reconcile, okay? And the least thing we would want to happen is in the end to burn bridges. Dahil kasi we are talking about with your current job, syempre the endorsements, how you're going to pass the responsibility and endorse it, syempre kailangan din natin i-consider yun. And also, not every when you submit this right now, as in if we submit this right now, there's a tendency that your superior may not 100% necessarily agree right away in this time of pandemic, kumbaga. So, but then again, kasi dun sa question natin dito is currently now, pero if you would want later on, you can ask if there is a better time, kasi sometimes it's not really just it's not really an answer of just yes or no. Oftentimes it's just a matter of timing. Pwede kasi na halimbawa yung timeline natin will be until the end of kailan po. I'll give a timeline kung hanggang kailan ang scope nito, ha. 2 months from now. 2 months from now, better na, actually. So if you prefer that, and then that can be better. Pero kung halimbawa, as in super soon, like right now, medyo challenging lang. It will improve though in the next 2 months. So, two things can happen if you are patient enough to still wait for 2 months, and it will be better. Pero kung hindi, again, there's no judgment on that because again, in the end, tayo naman yung nag-experience talaga niyan. So, no matter how everyone around you will feel the compassion towards how you're feeling, especially your family. But then again, syempre tayo yung nakaka-experience niyan. Eh, ang mahalaga, syempre, how we also care and value ourselves in the end. Hindi naman hindi naman pwede natin isang tabi din yung sarili natin mga pakiramdam sa mga ganyang bagay dahil syempre tayo mismo yung gumagalaw, energy natin 'yan. it is also manifesting in our lives. So in short, we really have a fair responsibility on that as well. Hindi natin pwedeng isantabi yung mga kailangan natin para sa buhay natin. So my say, para dun sa first participant natin, honestly, walang problema no matter what you choose here. Kung talagang hindi na kaya, go ahead. Pero kung kaya pa maging patient, then 2 months after 2 months, better na. If you are also willing to really wait for the next 2 months, it also pays off if you also advise ahead of time. Para kumbaga, at least, just like here in the Philippines, by labor law, it is required for us, for the employers to provide at least 1 month, depending on their regularization status. Either they're not yet regularized or regularized na. There are certain guidelines for you to follow before you can tender your resignation. Pag regularize na, at least 1 month. Pero pag hindi pa, at least 15 days. This gives the employer time for you to, for them to find a replacement or to prepare for yung pag-alis natin. Pasensya na naging technical kasi obvious, naging HR din ako dati sa ano. When I was in a corporate life, medyo naikot ko yung ano. May chance ako naikot-ikot ko yung mga roles na yan. But then again, all I'm saying is that at the end of the day, ikaw pa rin mag-gauge niyan. Just currently, if you're going to see the energy of the energy of currently within uh, pag within the 2 months, medyo challenging. Pero if you exceed at least the next 2 months, yun, pwede na. Now, kung ano man naman decision mo, I highly encourage that you also syempre pray for it well. Para naman, no matter how challenging it can be, kung talagang kailangan na, at least you're gonna be well guided by the divine, our God. Okay? And thanks for joining Tarot Tuesdays. Maraming salamat. Welcome everybody. I want to acknowledge my fellow Reiki master all the way from California, USA. Yan, Kathy. Mga aga-aga naman ng ating gising. Good morning. Good morning sa iyo in California. Okay. Ay, aba ang Bessie. Ay, okay lang yan. Oo. Na-late daw ang Bessie. Huwag kang mag-alala. Ang mahalaga, nakahabol tayo. Hindi naman siya ano, naalala ko tuloy po yung mga classroom na lagi ako nalilate. Sorry na, okay lang yan, okay lang yan. Okay, so tingnan na natin yung second participant natin para marami tayong matulungan. Kung gusto niyo mag-participate, nakalagay sa pin post yung asa yung phone ko, ayun. Nakalagay sa pin post natin yung ating mga guidelines. Kung gusto natin mag-participate, libre lang po magtanong here in our Tarot Tuesdays. Ayan, thank you yan. Thank you sa reading and advice. Appreciated much. More power sa'yo. Thank you so much. Maraming salamat. Ayan. Okay, so tignan na natin yung ating second participant. Okay. Yun. Aba, suki na naman yung ating next participant. I'm so happy naman. Okay. So, para sa second participant natin, ito naman. Okay. Good evening, Master. Ask ko lang, Master, yung hinihintay ko bang deal matutuloy o hindi? Thanks, Master. Aba, tingnan natin. Sige, tingnan natin yan. So, okay. So, ito na naman yung sasabihin ko ha. Anong tawag dito? Medyo similar yung magiging feedback ko dito dun sa second participant natin na no matter what the energy na makukuha natin, I really hope that you also don't stop when it comes to giving this more energy. And by the way, pwede rin naman ako magbigay ng tip para din pala and kay din pala, yung sa first participant, I'm sure nakikinig ka pa din ngayon. Meron akong charity work na i-recommend sa inyong dalawa. Okay? So, because gusto natin ma-manifest to, di ba? Kung gusto natin ma-manifest, by the way, meron din akong ibibigay na isang natural remedy. Okay? So, hindi tayo, magalala yung mga natural remedies natin. Hindi tayo bibili ng mga anting-anting or kung ano-ano. This is really how the universe works. And this is really something that you would also benefit as well. Natural naman siya. Okay? So later on, bigyan natin yan. But then again, if you're if you're in a nutshell, ito naman medyo similar din kasi yung magiging hinahanap nating possibility in a question wherein you are wanting to have a possibility na either it's gonna be favorable o kaya kung hindi. Yan yung underlying na possibility na pwede nating makuha in these types of questions. So, I would share the same thing. No matter what we will manifest o kaya kung anong card yung mamamanifest natin ngayon, huwag mag-alala. Okay, ang mahalaga niyan, you always have an opportunity to improve your energy. Kasi ganun lang naman yung key natin eh. So, bago ako kumuha niyan, let's talk about manifestation. Okay? So, and if you are already a suki, parang konyo naman, if you're a suki, okay, pag suki ka na dito sa Tarot Tuesdays natin or here in our YouTube channel, syempre, alam mo na on how we can manifest this, no? But then again, I have to keep saying it over and over. And I also have to keep sharing this over and over. Na kung some of you, maybe hearing a lot of mga patterns na binibigay ko sa mga guidance and wisdom ko here in our YouTube channel is because kailangan din masanay kayo. Kailangan din masanay kayo na dun sa mga guidance na yon. Kailangan kahit paulit-ulit every single time. It may be twice a week na nagkikita tayo here or when you also watch pari 3 times tayo nagkikita in a week, no? Pag nakikita nyo rin yung mga weekly tarot reading, you know what? I have a very standard way of how I share my guidance and I want you to be comfortable with that because yung mga sinishare ko naman na guidance, even the steps, the thorough steps that I share sa inyo, and these are very easy steps or these are very easy ways to understand yung mga sitwasyon natin in life. No matter kung anong aspeto ng buhay natin yung kailangan nating punan, you have to just recognize how the universe works. Okay, ganun muna siya. You have to understand how the universe works. So first of all, we also have to understand na yung universe or our world always operates in the universal law of cause and effect. Lagi siyang ganun. And even science explains it. Okay? So just like how inertia happens, di ba? For inertia to happen, there must be a force first that will ignite. Okay, there has to be a certain force to ignite first para mag-react siya ng ganyan. Okay? So kumbaga, yun yung pampa-jumpstart natin. It has to come from something first. And how to jumpstart that? That is what we're going to manifest. So first of all, kailangan alam muna natin yung gusto nating i-manifest. Okay? Alamin muna natin yung gusto nating i-manifest. So, in this case, and you don't just know kung anong gusto nyo i-manifest. You have to understand what kind of energy comes with that kind of manifestation. So halimbawa, ang gusto natin may manifest para dito sa mga kung ang career ang tanong natin or kung ang gusto nating mai-manifest is abundance and prosperity. Okay, kung abundance and prosperity, yun ang gusto nating may manifest. In short, you have to also understand what the energy is about. Okay? What the energy is about. So, the energy of abundance. Okay? Ano bang abundance? Abundance is like an overflow of energy. So, paano ka magiging overflowing of these energies? You have to keep embodying that energy. So, if you want to be abundant and want to be prosperous, ganyan. So, ganyan natin ang career natin gusto nating ma-improve, and then in your thoughts, decisions and actions, it should always be focusing on that. So kung yung thoughts natin will not be about how to improve our work, how to find other resources, or to become extra resourceful in our finances, o kaya maging maabilidad tayo on ways on how we can generate other income, and then how would we manifest that? Kung hindi naman natin siya iniisip at all. Kung hindi natin masyadong pinag-iisipan kung ano yung mga plans natin. It should always involve that. Because after all, technically, eyes on the prize. Eyes on the prize. And then, when you already know if you already know yung energy in our thoughts, yun na lagi yung pinaprocess natin, you have to choose it. Okay, so if you set a plan, you have to choose that plan and you have to choose the best one that you can come up with. And you have to take action. So hindi pwedeng pinaprocess lang natin sa mind natin, pero hindi tayo gumagalaw. Kasi when we move, that's the time that we are giving the divine spark. We are giving the initial jump start of that energy to move. And syempre, kapag depende, you know how science always explains it, Newton's third law of motion. In every action, there's always an equal or unequal action reaction. Magre-react yan. Now, depending on what energy you put out, kung anong energy nilabas mo, babalik lang yun din sa'yo. Depende kung anong energy. And your intention will always set you apart from other people's life experiences. Kasi parang minsan it's easy for us to see how other people are doing without really thinking. Okay, how that without really thinking, what are they really doing na hindi natin nakikita? And then these are doon nagkakatalo-talo yung iba kasi iba-iba tayo na halimbawa kung office mates tayo, we may be all doing well, pero what we do behind everything, how we process everything inside according to our energy, hindi tayo lahat pare-pareho. Okay? And because again, one way or another, babalik yan sa atin. Okay? So you have to understand, going back, pag alam na natin kung ano yung ating goal, alam na natin yung goal natin and we understand the energy that comes with it, and then we have to embody that in our energy. That's another. Now, here is another, again, a very meaningful step. Okay? Manifesting it is one, but to continuously get it is another. Kasi pwede namang ma-manifest natin yan. Pero kung halimbawa ang goal mo lang naman ay makuha lang siya isang beses, well and good, okay lang din. At least nakuha na siya. But kung ang goal natin is to continuously get it, or in short, we want to be consistent, and then we will add consistency. So in short, in your thoughts, decisions, and actions, all of your thoughts will resonate how hardworking you are, how creative you are, how resourceful you are, and you have to keep choosing it, and you have to keep taking action on that, and you have to keep doing it over and over and over. May blessing o wala, tuloy-tuloy. Tuloy-tuloy. Because that's how you really look at it this way. Para kang nag-i-invest sa bangko. Okay? Parang nag-i-invest sa bangko. Pero syempre, kung gusto natin mag-withdraw at lagi in time sa kailangan natin mag-withdraw, may makukuha tayo kung continuously nag-i-imbak tayo sa bangko. That's the only time that we can be assured na yung concept nung pag may sinuksok, may mabubunot. Ganun siya. So in short, manifesting it is one, but being consistent is another. So you have to keep doing it over and over. I will also add, if you would want to manifest this, now this is really depending on what kind of manifestation you would want to happen. Iba-iba kasi ng araw ng charity work. Yung mga depende sa love, depende sa career, depende sa anything. Sometimes kapag kailangan natin ang i-manifest natin, we want to conceive or anything that a woman has to deal with. Meron din siyang iba-ibang araw na kailangan na charity work. Now, all I'm gonna ask is, kung meron kayong gusto ma-manifest, pwede nyo rin i-type yan dyan sa natin, dyan sa comment section natin. And then later on, ibibigay ko rin yung charity work. Now, talking about charity work, why am I including charity work dun sa ating plano? If you would want to manifest, ako nga yung nangangailangan, ba't ako magbibigay? Ba't ako maglalabas? Ako yung nangangailangan. Why? Because again, you have to understand how the universe works. So how the universe works, kapag may sinuksok, may maibubunot. So in short, kahit hindi ka pa nangangailangan, it's like saving for the rainy days. Because if you want to gain something, you should be willing to lose something. And we're all doing that, hindi lang natin nare-realize. Sinasabi natin, halimbawa, nagkatrabaho tayo, ano ba nawawala sa atin? Minsan, ang dali-dali lang naman ang trabaho natin. Pero ano ba nawawala sa atin kapag, when we are working? Lahat tayo, no matter what kind of work or no matter what we do for a living, lahat tayo, when we offer our energy, hindi lang yung energy yung nawawala sa atin. There is one solid energy na lagi nating binibigay na hindi na natin pwedeng mabawi pag binigay natin, and that is our time. Imagine, instead of us spending time with family, spending time with ourselves, spending time with our friends, or spending time on anything that is also important, but instead we are working. So in exchange of our time, our effort, in exchange of all of those, and syempre, yung ating mga skills and abilities, we get money in return, or we get our sweldo in return. Kung may push, may pull. Ganun lagi. That's how the universe works. We've been doing it. We just have to realize and understand it deeper. So kung may gusto tayong ma-manifest, ganun din ang gagawin natin. For us to manifest this, we will give out a form of energy from us. And when I say a form of energy, it's not necessarily only referring to money. Hindi lang monetary. It can be anything. It can be in kind, it can be in goods, it can be in services. It can also be as simple as being kind and being loving. Ganun lang siya. You just have to focus on giving love, sharing love, your help, your services, your expertise. When you give that in the form of a charity work, that is also a way for you to manifest it more. Para dun sa dalawang to, since this is going to be your career, I will highly suggest, because may gusto kayong ma-manifest to have this on your favor, do your charity works on a Saturday. And set your goals first and your intentions bago nyo ibigay yung charity work ninyo. So, it can be, sasabihin natin, I'm letting go of this energy. I'm going to do this charity work para ma-manifest ko ito. It's okay to say it first, say your intentions first, and then saka mo gawin yung donation. Bakit? Dahil in terms of parang playing archery, kapag hindi kasi tayo nag-set ng specific na intention, hindi natin na-set yung intention directly dun sa gusto natin ma-manifest, look at it this way, para kami magpapana ka lang ganyan. And then you release the bow, and then thinking na, baka may tamaan. Pag may tamaan, di very good. Pero sana meron. Pero kung wala, hala, paano yun? When you say your intentions, at least you are directing the energy to your goal. Just like how archery is. You wanted to hit the bullseye, then you aim the bullseye through your intentions. And then to keep doing it over and over. So, dahil inuna ko na yung tip na yan, para naman, no matter what will manifest dito sa question natin, you will have an idea whether it's good, pwede pang pagandahin. Kung hindi masyadong maganda, and then we can do this para mas gumanda yung energy. So, tingnan na natin kung ano yung mabubunot natin na card. Kung dun sa second participant natin, ha? Pero yung sabihin ko, kung gusto mo pang matuloy ito, and talagang mas may manifest, by the way, do not limit yourself in just specific days na charity work na binigay ko. Of course, it will yield stronger results doon sa specific na days na ibibigay ko, i-recommend ko. And again, it's case-to-case basis, ha? But then again, if you continuously do charity work, edi parang ang dami mo ini-invest. Okay? Para anytime na may kailangan kang i-request, madaling magbigay si God. Dahil syempre, titingnan natin, hindi kasi, we have to understand na if this is how science explains everything, hindi natin pwedeng expectin na just because we want something and we want it so bad, pero wala tayong nilabas na energy, how will the universe give it to us kung wala siyang mapanghuhugutan ng energy? Diba? So, you have to just understand that. Okay, tingnan natin para sa ating second participant kung matutuloy daw yung kanyang deal. Okay. So, ang magiging strong indicator natin dito, if we get syempre a major card. Pero pag hindi, huwag panghihinaan ng loob. Okay. Actually, this is like 50-50. Okay, so we have the Knight of Swords. Okay, we have the Knight of Swords here. Now, the Knight here is depicted slaying a dragon here. So this means this is still under negotiation. Actually, haggling. So there are things that your client is also trying to weigh and wanting you to consider. And syempre, parang when, you know how it is when we're haggling, di ba? Minsan talaga, we need to bend backwards for the clients. And the clients also want that. So there are certain things, conditions na gusto nilang makuha. If you can make things happen, syempre, yun yung mga tinitingnan nila. They're really seeing if you can do it. But you know what? Teka. Okay, so I see something here. So, not just, them parang looking if you are willing to bend backwards with the things that they want you to do. But that's only one thing. Alam mo, kahit sa kanila, hindi na sila fully decided pa. Because it's the pandemic time and they're really thinking, is it really okay for us to do that this time? Because recently there are things that happen in their life that made them really question and reassess this possible na gagawin nila, okay, na investment. And for them to have a sound decision, syempre, they would want to be very intuitive about it as well. So they're listening to kumaga, if they're waiting for a sign, they're also waiting for that. It's not a question if they want it. It's only a matter of timing, actually. Is it okay for the timing right now? It was initially, but somehow parang they feel shaken. But of course, you can do something about it. And this is how, knowing na yan na, ang mahalaga rin kasi, di ba, when we are wanting to close these kinds of deals, all that matters is how we get to address kung ano yung concern nila. So now that you know what they're concerned about, now you have to find a way on what are the ways on how pwede mo silang convince according to what their concern is. And it also does not hurt if you also ask out for how else you can help them in their decision and how else you can help them decide. And there are many ways on how you can help. So all it takes is for you to ask and to interact so that you will also, para matulungan mo sila, and genuinely, these people are also needing help, short of saying, because they want it, but they want to make sure that it's the best decision. So how will you benefit on this? I mean, how will you give them a form of benefit that they will not feel that you're just in it to close the deal, okay? Now you're not just a little one-sided. Give the pros and cons and be honest about it. But no, I'm pretty sure may kaya kang gawin about it. And then give the full support. I know these are things na hindi ko masyado magawa, but these are the things that I can do. And here are the things that I can do for you. Ganyan. And then, what are you really giving in a form of assurance? These people just need assurance. Then provide the assurance, because if that's the underlying issue here, they just feel less assured, and then provide the assurance. If you can also state some other experiences of other clients that you've had that they possibly had in a familiar situation from them, and what did you do and what did you offer? You just have to be very creative about it. And once you do, remember, this is a way for you to shift and improve your energy. And then, kasi ito nakita natin, this is the current energy. Wala pa tayong binabago dun sa mga energy natin. Pag nabago natin, you provide yung sinabi kong tip sa'yo, and then watch it unfold even more. Okay? Thanks for joining Tarot Tuesdays. Good evening, everybody. Ako po si Marky Mendoza. I'm a Reiki master and teacher, and also an intuitive tarot reader and teacher, and welcome to your official Tuesday night habit. This is Tarot Tuesdays. So dito libre lang magtanong. May tanong kayo, any questions about love, career, and yung health? 2-0 na ay 2-0 ng scoring natin. Puro career, ha? Magtanong kayo about health dahil kung hindi tayo healthy, paano natin ma-achieve yung mga goals na yan? So yes, important malaman natin. Ay, wala pa palang tanong. Important malaman natin ang ating health status every single time. Okay? It's not just about it's COVID-19 pandemic time. No matter if there are pressing situations or hindi, we need to be healthy, because after all, we all have our goals, dreams, and aspirations. Ako din. And for me, to manifest all those, I should be very healthy. So, huwag kayong mahiya magtanong dyan. By the way, let us also extend help sa lahat naman ng mga, hindi naman necessarily, if you're watching right now, but you're not necessarily needing the guidance, maybe you are in a really very good flow ng life natin, and napakaganda nun. I'm so happy for you. Pero kung halimbawa, meron naman tayong mga, either we have friends or family who may be needing healing, do not hesitate to put it down in our comment section, dito sa ating comment section. Lagay nyo, baka may kailangan kayong tao na tulungan about your health condition. Me and almost 400 students of mine, every single day we have our own charity work in a form of healing. We maintain a list of people, frontliners, people who donate to frontliners, people who got infected with COVID-19, and these are also people na may mga, not necessarily COVID-19, pero there are health conditions that needs to be focused on, and then we all keep it in one list, and every single day we've been sending healing to these people. And so far, we've received many good news and miracles about our charity work. So we always welcome anybody na nangangailangan ng healing din. Do not hesitate to put their names here in our comment section, and then i-add natin sila sa ating healing list. Okay? So tingnan natin yung ating next participant. Okay? Tingnan natin. Ayan. Suki natin yung next. Very good. Okay, so, good evening, Master. How are you? Mainam. Maraming salamat. I just wanna ask lang po, how's my October? How's my October will be with my team? Ayan, sige, okay. So medyo ano na, career ulit tayo ha? Okay, sige. Grabe kayo ha? Lagi na lang career. Ang ano natin, yung health. Grabe kayo sa health. Galit. Sige, tingnan natin para sa next participant natin, okay? Tingnan natin. Parang yung October for him and para sa team niya. Okay, tingnan natin. Okay, tingnan natin. So, syempre, parang medyo similar yung theme natin dun sa first two participants, no? Syempre, uh, this is concerning the career. And syempre, kung ang tanong, ang makikita lang nating possibilities, dalawa, either it's gonna be favorable o hindi. So, medyo fairly similar yung mga maibibigay nating payo dyan, ha? Tingnan natin. Oh, okay. This is a very good warning. Okay, so we have 7 of wands for our next participant. Okay, now the wands, it's not practically bad. Okay, so when we get wands in our tarot cards, it represents hard work, effort, hard labor. So in short, it will be this ano kasi, expect din, at least yun nga, we already are expecting it. So para depending kung anong lalabas sa current energy natin, it will also allow us to prepare how much more efforts ang mga ibibigay natin o how much more focus ang ibibigay natin, how much more energies ang ilalabas natin, okay? Kasi nga, kung ano man ang makukuha nating possibility here, pakita ko na pala yung card. So, in this case, the current energy is already telling us na yung ano natin, yung current energy for October, it will be challenging. Okay? It will be challenging. As you can see here, so, and because this is also concerning your team, no? So, and judging from what I'm seeing here, if you also, like a ballpark figure, like around 30% of you and your team, 30% of your team, yun lang ang so far makakahit ng goal. The rest really need to work hard, and that's the exact representation of the 7 of wands. That means there should be so much effort pa kung nag-goal setting na for the month, and some of you may have given it a good jump start na, nakapagplano na, nag-execute na. That means dagdagan pa yung resourcefulness, dagdagan pa yung engagement sa ating clients, dagdagan pa yung ating follow-up, dagdagan pa yung update, dagdagan pa yung energy. Basically, being proactive is really something that you and the team should be focusing on. And by being proactive, anong tawag dito? And sometimes, and alam ko na kahit komportable na tayo with what we're doing, especially imagine this, no, if your career entails sales, no, okay, you really have to sell. Anong tawag dito, if this in these situations, sometimes kahit na you've been doing this for a while and you've already gotten a level of comfort, somehow kahit na sanay ka na, if you're gonna go outside of what your usual routine or energy or your usual self, and if it's needing extra, somehow parang parang ang hirap. And I feel you and I get you, kasi hindi madali yung ganyan. And especially kapag alam mo naman na yung efforts mo ay sobrang okay, malaki na yung efforts mo, and then you are gonna be needed to do more. Imagine that. And I want you to know na not just that the people, especially in your team, they're not doing things. Of course they are, pero these times call extra effort talaga, because it's really part of it. And sometimes anything extra kasi, di ba? Sometimes yung parang huhugutin pa sa'yo pa kahit wala nang maihuhugot. That feels a little challenging. Okay? And sometimes it feels a little hopeless and helpless. I feel you. Okay? Alam ko yung ganyan sitwasyon. But then again, we go back to what we are going to manifest. We have to understand. Okay? We have to understand how the universe works. And kahit again, paulit-ulit lang yung mga sinasabi kong ganito, it's because you need to really become comfortable with and until you finally hanggang sa parang ma-absorb ninyo ng maigi yung routine na ito, how the universe really works. And then you would really have to go through a lot of push and pull, especially if you are still getting your rhythm, if you're still adapting to this, if you are still new to this, it will always entail adjustment. And if I can also share, so this is on a personal na experience ko, and I'm telling you na I've been a Reiki master for 3 years now. I've been practicing Reiki since 2016, pero no 2018 lang ako naging Reiki master and teacher. I've been doing this for 3 years now professionally. Since last year, I started teaching and training new Reiki masters and teachers like me. And I've had my second batch for this year. And this is what I always tell them. Hindi nga porke ano na tayo, hindi porke teacher na tayo, hindi porke master, nasa master level na tayo, is that we become very complacent. Okay, we become very complacent. And at the same time, when we teach, whatever we teach, we should always come um, we should always gear towards providing our own experiences kasi somehow when we say things, it's easy to believe it. Pero saan ko huhugutin yung paniniwala na yun kung hindi ko mismong na-experience, kung hindi ko mismo ina-apply sa life ko, kung sinasabi ko lang siya pero hindi ko ginagawa and I don't believe in it. But the thing is, lahat ng steps na binibigay ko, I apply it to my life as well. And quite frankly, kaya nga ako nakabuo ng mga ganitong formula. In which, by the way, I also developed myself because these are my own experiences and in-apply ko yung mga binibigay ko sa inyo. And now it may seem like paulit-ulit because that's really just how simple the universe works. But sometimes knowing it is just one, pero being consistent and to fully, no matter how circumstances will unfold, is to keep trusting that. So ang pinakamalaking factor sa atin is yung how we are going to trust that this or that the universe will provide. It's easier said than done. And I'm telling you, I've been there many times na kahit sinasabi ko na, okay, I'm trusting, pero talagang while I'm getting my rhythm, while I'm adapting to the experience, madaling sabihin na, opo, I trust. Pero yung actual experience, and again, this is really your own experience. Again, people around you can just have an idea how it feels. Pero kung ikaw mismo, iba yun. And I've been there. And if lagi mo naririnig sa akin, trust lang, magtiwala ka. Kung hindi ko na pagdaanan, pag sinabi sa akin na kahit na ako mismo nahihirapan, yes, I tell myself that. Pero kung ako mismo, if I became impatient, hindi ko rin siya makukuha. If I didn't become very patient about how everything will unfold, because may rhythm yan and may divine timing dyan. And what if kulang na lang isang araw for you to be patient, tapos on that day medyo bumigay na tayo, diba? May ganun eh. So you have to keep trusting that no matter how everything will unfold, no matter if it's a blessing o hindi, the goal is for us to be consistent about it and to keep doing it over and over. And hindi tayo magsasawa na kahit na may mga challenges tayo maano. And then sasabihin uli natin paulit-ulit sa sarili natin and to everyone to keep trusting. And that is why if you see our videos, I always say in the end to keep trusting the process because the trusting part, yun yung pinaka-crucial talaga. Madaling magplano, sa totoo lang. Sige, yan, mga pag-uusapan natin yung mga plano natin sa buhay, yung mga goals, dreams, aspirations natin. Bibigyan ko kayo ng mga tips on how to do it. Pero how you're gonna bear with the process as this unfolds in your experience, of course, hindi yan smooth sailing. And I will never promise everybody na when you follow these guidelines, sobrang smooth sailing yan. Na malaman mo siya today, bukas ma-apply mo lahat, pwedeng you're still gonna get your rhythm well. And remember how it is in school. Ganyan tayo sa school. Kaya nga there are certain levels, certain subjects na parang pare-pareho yung teaching, nung may level up lang yung mga approach. Nung may level up, mas nagiging challenging lang yung approach. But the foundations would remain the same. Nag-e-evolve lang. But then again, you go back to your core. You go back to trusting no matter what is in front of us. Kapag may blessing, trust. Trust that it will be continuous. Trust na tuloy-tuloy na siya. Trust na marami pa. Trust na sunod-sunod pa. Kapag may warning, trust na hindi ka pinarurusahan. Trust that there's just some things that we need to learn. Trust na meron lang divine timing. And your goal is to keep doing it and doing it. So in short, no matter what it is, we may get a blessing o hindi, our goal is to continuously trust. Because remember, kung anong energy nilabas mo at yun na lang din ang babalik sa'yo. You just really need to understand how the universe works, and then be ready to go through it. Kasi hindi ko naman talaga papangako kasi my life wasn't an easy life. Okay? So hindi siya yung parang everything na na-experience ko, I may now have the opportunity to be here, to share this, to keep sharing my guidance to everybody. Pero hindi ibig sabihin ay napakadali nun nangyari sa akin. Okay? That's why, with these warnings, with these mga readings and possibilities na mai-share ko sa inyo, it really prepares you. Kasi I've been there as well. So sasabihin ko sa sarili ko na, yep, oo naman, sige, I'll trust. Pero kapag ini-experience ko na siya, and there are also times that I become impatient. And there are times na even if I tell myself na you have to trust, but then again, self-doubt is still there, and that's okay. You have to appreciate those times na talagang sinishake ka ni universe. You have to appreciate those times. Kasi those times, it's a powerful moment for you to keep trusting and believing on what is meant for you. You keep doing this over and over, and then yung bibigay yung kung anong nakalaan sa'yo. Because yun ang energy naman na binigay mo. So kung anong energy nilabas mo, yan at yan lang din ang babalik sa'yo. And you have to keep doing it over and over. My say, even dadaling ko na yan sa lahat ng first three na participants natin today. Since these are all concerning your career, the goal is to continuously doing this over and over. And again, don't think na parang just because maybe these people are in the corporate, so mag-a-apply lang sa kanya. Look at what I'm doing. I'm continuously doing these sessions every single time. I allow 2 hours of my time every time na merong may Tarot Tuesdays, may Tarot Thursdays. Tinatanggal ko yung 2 hours of my time that I should be just doing something else to be more productive. Maybe maghanap na lang ako ng students na tuturuan ko, or I should be doing and focusing on my marketing. But instead, I allow 2 hours of my time to focus here, and I keep doing it over and over. Yun yung ginagawa ko dito, and I hope yun yung mapapansin ninyo. And then eventually, tinan nyo, dati ilan-ilan lang tayo dito, di ba? But ngayon, eventually, it's starting to grow because kung ano tinuturo ko sa inyo, yun din ang ginagawa ko. And I am still going through it. Hindi pa naman tayo like super, yung subscriptions natin, hindi pa lumalagpas sa 1,000. And that is our goal initially. But then again, we're not yet there. Pero you will never see me na parang, wala pang 1,000 subscribers. Ano bang next niyan? Sige, matanong na nga lang. Hindi ako mararamdaman na wala akong gana. I really always give my best. Because yun yung kung ano yung binibigay ko na mga payo sa inyo, I should always be a reflection of that. And then you get the result. So my say, kahit dyan sa maliliit na bagay, dyan nagre-reflect yung lessons natin. Sa maliliit na bagay, dun nyo i-apply yung mga lessons natin. And to continuously and consistently doing it over and over, yan na magbibigay ng blessing. So my say, para sa mga din natin. And again, this can be something that may sound familiar, yung mga kailangan natin na mga reminder sa buhay natin. We have to really bear with it. Magpasensya lang tayo na maigi and magtiwala. And through it all, God will always provide, and He always will. So long as may panghuhugutan siya ng energy sa atin. Diba? So parang nga din, diba? Para tayo, during those times, I keep using this example kasi it really just makes sense because I really tell myself this. Kumaga may mga self-talk ako na sinasabi. And hindi ko alam kung ganyan din kayo, no? Pero lagi ko sinasabi, pag tumama ako sa loto, eto na yan. Nakalaan na lahat yan. Una, may charity work. Pangalawa, I'm gonna buy this, I'm gonna buy that, I'm gonna secure this. Secured na din yan, yung ganun-ganon. May plano na yan. But first things first, tumataya ba sa loto? So kung hindi tayo tumataya sa loto, it's just a very good thought. Ay, sorry baby. Ayan, bang Florida ghost yan ni baby. Yan. Yung mga planti-plantito tayo. Yan. Taya muna tayo, di ba? Paano tayo mananalo sa loto? I mean, it's a good thought, di ba? Ang saya-sayang, I'm not sure kung nag-e-enjoy kayo daydreaming about winning the lottery, but I do. Ang saya-saya niya mag-daydream about it. Kahit na, alam mo yun, for fun lang. It's a very exciting thought. Ako mismo kinikilig yun. Parang, alam mo yung tipong lokohan na tatawagan kami ni Rain, sabihin ko kay Rain, halika na, mag-lunch tayo sa Hong Kong, dali, sagot ko na. Yung mga gano'n, di ba? Saya-saya yung mga gano'n. Ba't tipong mga tipong maganda yung mga ganyan, daydreaming yung ganyan. But then again, kung hindi naman tayo tumataya sa loto, paano natin makukuha? So, ganun din sa lahat ng bagay. In short, tumaya lang ng tumaya. Kung ano man yan, you wanna manifest love, then tumaya sa love. You wanna manifest career, abundance, prosperity, then tumaya doon. In short, you have to do what it takes in your thoughts, decisions, and actions. It has to be a clear reflection of that. Okay? Thanks for joining Tarot Tuesdays. My name is Marky Mendoza. I'm a Reiki master and teacher, also an intuitive tarot reader and teacher, and welcome to Tarot Tuesdays. Time check, 10:15. Marami pang time, okay? Samahan niyo ako. If you have any questions, anything about your love, career, puro na lang kayo career, grabe kayo. Nagalit. And then health. Health. Okay, kailangan natin yan. Sagot ko yan. Libre po magtanong. If you have any questions, sagot ko yan. Nakalagay po sa ating pin post yung ating guidelines. Huwag mahiya magtanong dahil may right med po. O right med, baka naman mag-collab tayo. Nag-collab sa sa pharmacy. Okay. Ay, baka Lola Remedios ang ibigay sa akin. Why not? Di ba? Okay pa rin yun. Mag-i-endorser tayo ng Lola Remedios. Baka naman. O sige. Okay. Sige. Tingnan natin. Hindi ko pala nasabi dun sa next, nasabi ko pala. Akala ko hindi ko nasabi sa kanya na sagot na, yung question na niya yung itatanong ko. Okay. So, tingnan na natin yung next participant natin. Okay. Ayun. Okay. Suki, yung ating next participant. Nakakatawa. Oh my God. Alam mo, pag suki talaga nakakilig ako. Okay. Ay, kinikilig ako. Nakakakilig ako. Sorry na. Okay. Ayan. Oh, wala pa nga. Oh, nagte-thank you na wala pa nga. Oh, pero yan, gagalingan natin. Okay, sige. I recently joined an online community. Would it enrich my life? And should I invest in the friendships I made there? Okay, sige, tingnan natin ha. Okay. So, this is a little, tawag dito, not necessarily for career, but this is really more on the personal, no? And you're looking at the personal growth. Okay. Let us see. Maganda yung interesting tong question na to. Sige, tingnan. Ay, sorry. Ayan, medyo ASMR na ba? Sorry. Okay, tingnan natin. Okay. Tingnan natin kung kamusta yung vibe ng group na yan. Okay. But also, let me say this no matter, medyo na ako. And every time I do this, I feel, if you're a suki here, ang konyo, kung suki kayo dito, if you're a suki here, no, you make bantay, you make watch my videos lagi, no? Joke lang. So, ganito yan, okay? So, no matter what it is, kasi ito na naman siya, favorable o hindi, should I stay, should I go, will I stay here o hindi? Medyo ganun lang yung statement, no? Will it be meaningful yung ganyan? No matter what it is, I'm telling you, it does not mean na when we are looking for any type of relationship, okay, any type of relationship, please expect that there will be people who will have the same likes, dislikes, same energies that you will resonate with. And hindi lahat sa group 100% like that. Thinking of the likes, dislikes, o mag-jive ba yung energy natin o hindi. But it does not mean, tsaka may makikilala kayo na sobrang genuine, sobrang bait, and the total opposite of that. And sometimes we become very selective about it. And sometimes we don't see the value na bakit kailangan may mga ganyan tao. Bakit may kailangan may ma-meet tayo sa buhay natin na sobrang hindi maganda. Or bakit may kailangan tayong ma-meet sa buhay natin na alam natin it will leave a mark. No matter what kind of mark they leave, whether these are good memories, good experiences to an extent that they will remain in your life forever, or it's a total opposite. Yung pwede ka medyo napasok ka sa mga ganyan, o pwede rin naman it can allow parang, what do you call this? Trauma to be in the surface, di ba? Nagkagulatan ba tayo? Alam ba, yung kape yan pero sige nga, pero ang sarap pa ng kape. Sorry na. Syumat lang. Gusto ko lang naman syumat. Okay. So, all I'm saying is that kung maganda ang samahan at you're starting to see the value from these people, well and good. Pero kung hindi, well and good pa din. I will highly encourage everybody to develop yung not just the social skills na makibagay and makisama tayo sa, no, it's not just that. Every single person that we will meet will provide us the wisdom. May they be the best person and they will keep helping you. They will keep sharing all the wisdom, all the good things, and they will share blessings even. And it doesn't mean yung maganda lang, yun lang ang pwede nating ma-meet sa buhay natin na magbibigay ng magandang lesson sa atin. I'm telling you, even on those na hindi nandun sa na opposite side ng mga expectations natin. But then again, these people are also important. Why? Doon natin nakikita yung difference eh. Doon natin nakikita yung difference. And there are people like this, but then again, these are the people who will give you benefits, they will uplift you, they will provide you this, they will share their blessings, their wisdom, etc. But the people on the opposite side, these are also meaningful experiences because hindi tayo pwedeng magiging ignorante na alam lang natin how to deal with and how to experience the good sides, and the rest parang we tend to shy away or we don't see them as people that are important in our lives. It is important. The more we meet these kinds of people, the more we also get to establish what our light is about. We get to establish and stay true to who we are as a person. Then, na when we see others na alam natin, ay, hindi ko kaya maging ganyan. And then it strengthens who you truly are. Mas alam mo, mas nalalaman mo kung ano talaga tayo as a person because in the eyes of the many, kapag nakikita mo how they are, what kind of energy they have, and what energy they emit, malalaman mo din, do you agree with that energy? Do you resonate with that energy? Then kung hindi, very good. It allows you to keep your feet on the ground. Kasi hindi naman ibig sabihin hindi maganda yung ginagawa ng ibang tao or hindi nagre-resonate yung energy nila sa energy mo, hindi na maganda yung buhay nila. Hindi naman ibig sabihin we are far better than others. Because, just like my own experience, hindi naman ako ganito lagi eh. Hindi talaga ganito yung mindset ko for the longest time. But I have gone through many things first. I have gone through my own sets of self-inflicted trauma. I was not truthful most of my life. Napakasinungaling kong tao before. And so, if this is your first time that you've heard that, and if you're new here, I mean, why am I gonna listen to someone na walang integrity dati? Because again, I will have to take you back to what the definition of energy is. Because everything is energy. Now you have to define what energy is. Energy is something, it's anything and everything that has the potential to change. What kind of change? It can be good, it can also be the opposite, but we are all capable of change. That means when you get to see the differences, dahil kaka-experience mo ng kaka-experiences ng polarity of the universe, good, bad, lahat niya na-experience, the more that you experience how you will choose who you truly are as a person. Mas maniniwala ka how you are as a person, the more you keep experiencing this. So my say, no matter who these people are, marami ka pa ring matututunan, marami kang mapupulot niyan. And tsaka, I would want to take this in the concept of how family members are. In our family, of course, there are success stories na everybody loves each other and very genuine and you can never complain. It's a picture perfect kind of family. And of course, that's possible. And there are many references na we can, pag sinabi natin na this household, this family, or at least these people, every single one of them are really nice, very good. But there are also, more often than not, hindi. But does that mean that family, hindi na maganda yung family na yun? Hindi. Because it's really part of it. Again, any form of relationship, kahit nga romantic relationships, hindi naman lahat ng mga ng tao who end up together have the same personality or agree on everything. Because after all, it's okay to disagree. That's also very healthy. And then again, this is one thing na I would want to remind everything. Sorry. When you get to experience other people, if there's anything that I would want us to change and to refrain from, is the form of judgment. Na parang, ganyan pala yung, kaya pala. Yung gano'n. And gano'n ako dati. So, it doesn't matter kung, no matter what successes we have in life. It doesn't matter how spiritual you've become, pero when you look at others, hindi natin minsan may iwasan to compare, pero if we can refrain from judging how their life is unfolding currently, because no matter how it is right now, may chance naman yan talaga mag-evolve. Evolve positively, or it can be the opposite, yes, pero may chance yan. We all have an equal opportunity. Lahat tayo, deserve natin yan. Kung ikaw din naman, if you're gonna look at our own situation, syempre kailangan titignan din natin yung mga ganyan sitwasyon sa atin. Don't think that parang when we assess people that other people don't do that. Of course, they also assess us. The people in our lives, if we are the ones assessing the people around us, of course, these people may possibly do the same. And what kung ang mararamdaman naman, imagine mo if we judge people, what if these people judge you just because of something na hindi naman dapat walang bearing, pero na-judge tayo because of that, and how does it feel? So nandun na naman ang concept of cause and effect. Nandun na naman yung concept niyan. So, as you can see, that's really just how the universe works. That's really just how the universe works. And the more you understand that, but again, understanding it is one, how you apply it in your life is another. And so that's why kailangan nating paulit-ulit muna tayong i-discuss yung mga ganyang bagay para mas maging komportable ka. And the more comfortable you become, the more you keep using and believing it and trusting it. Okay? So, say, hindi pa man tayo nakakabunot, meron na tayong ganyang, may ganyan na tayong lesson. Kasi, sa totoo lang, each and every person I meet, I know one way or another, may matututunan ako dyan. May matututunan ako. And I look forward to that. Kasi paano mas magiging wide yung experience ko if I also limit myself to experiencing it. And one way or another, I'm telling you, you will meet possible na you will keep meeting the extremes super duper sobrang bait. And what are the things that I can pick up from that? What are the lessons na pwede kong i-mirror sa buhay ko? What are the things na pwede kong i-apply according to how their lessons applied in their life para naman may makuha din akong goodness, kindness, yung mga ganyang energy. But it doesn't mean that you meet the most awful person in the world as we perceive it, wala din tayong matututunan sa kanya. Na wala tayong mapipick up na lesson sa kanya. I always use this example. When we look back at the history of Hitler, pag-iisipan mo si Hitler, oh my gosh, a person who killed 6 million Jews just because of one thought that only the Nazis in particular are the more worthy race to be in existence in this world, just because of one thought. And then the Jews are not. They have to eradicate the Jews. And 6 million Jews have died because of it in history. So if you're gonna look at it, if you read the history, if you get to know the history, of course, the first thing to do is parang, ano ba yan? What an awful person. But then again, you have to remember, because of that person, because it's just one belief that you may find funny, after that, when things got resolved, everybody were able to establish what is right, what is wrong, what is just, what is unjust, what is not just. Tapos kung ano yung fair sa hindi, kung ano yung good sa hindi, kung ano yung selfish sa hindi. We get to discover lessons after it. But of course, the process may be a little harsh. But ang dami nating natutunan. So in short, pero same thing sa akin. That's why I also find the value every time I engage in Tarot Tuesdays, Tarot Thursdays, when I do this professionally, because I also do this professionally, and I have countless number of clients na personal reading na ginagawa ko, na full reading na ginagawa ko. And I always look forward to that kasi one way or another, if nasasagot ko yung nasasagot ko yung mga tanong, nakakapagbigay ako ng guidance na maigi, pero I have to keep experiencing more para mas lumawak pa yung mga pwede kong maging payo, because I may know all the answers right now, but if I become complacent and if I don't submit myself to opening myself to change and to welcoming myself to more possible wisdoms through other people's experience, baka limited lang din yung masashare ko. Baka konti lang din kasi sabi ko, wala akong masyado experience dyan so parang sa iba ka na lang magtanong. But then again, I want to keep helping. And so, I keep allowing myself to experience. And I share the same para sa'yo. So, dun sa participant natin, ang haba man ng chismis ko, pero it really just makes sense that no matter, we have to also understand na no matter how much we weigh the pros and cons, the pros and the cons will always present learning no matter what. Importante pa din siya. Pero tingnan na natin, sa dami-dami ng chismis ko, tingnan na natin if it's gonna be beneficial. But then again, kung ano man nalalabas dito, and again, there are, according dun sa ano mo of course, you're starting to see the value, but the question is, will it be very beneficial, and kung continuous, okay ba yung ganun? No matter what it is, in the end, kung makukuha man natin either favorable o hindi, you always have the best decision for that. This is a form of guidance, but no matter what unfolds here, yung sarili mong experience is the only thing that matters. Sige, tingnan na natin. Okay. So, very good. Okay naman. Honestly, okay naman. This is the Queen of Wands. Okay. So, the Queen of Wands, every time we get Wands, it's hard work effort because yun nga, medyo nakuha ko na yung nakuha kung ano yung payo ko kanina. It's the same thing na in-message dito. Literal, pros and cons, because not everybody you 100% resonate with. And there are still things that will unfold. Mas nakikita rin natin kasi yung core ng group when challenging situations are there. Doon mo mas nakikita yung group, and there's one coming next week. So when you witness when you witness something next week, from Wednesday to Thursday, abangan mo yan. From Wednesday to Thursday, something will happen in the group, and you will have an idea how the dynamics of the group will respond in terms of challenging times. Doon mo makikita yung core. Doon mo makikita yung core ng group, how they respond to it, how they act on it. Diyan mo mawitness, and then you can judge it from there. But my say, again, it does not matter what is ahead. Every single person that we will meet will always present these lessons. But of course, you're going to be intuitive about it then. Because through it all, your experience is very valid. We can never set aside your experience mo just because we are basing it on the current energy. The current energy, there are just things that needs to be fixed. And it goes both ways, syempre, because you know how relationships are. It has to be two-way. Well, you provide the good energy, and of course, it is, syempre, equally their responsibility to provide the same experience for you. I say it's so far good. It's building good experiences for you. Pero hintayin mo how the group responds when there are challenging times. Kasi mas dun mo siya ma-judge if it's really nourishing enough o hindi. Because you know how it is. It has to click. How they approach, how what their approaches, what their methods are, how they apply the lessons that they preach. Okay, the energy that they emulate, lalabas yun doon during those times. And if it resonates well and good. Then again, I'm telling you, every experience will give you a very good learning experience anyway. Meron ka matututunan. So my say, if it's about learning and experiencing, marami ka naman matututunan. I can never discount that fact. Okay? Thanks for joining Tarot Tuesdays. My name is Marky Mendoza, and I'm a Reiki master and teacher, also an intuitive tarot reader and teacher. And this is my baby boy. Ay, pala! Kala! Yay! Ay, shush, Kala. Ay, shush, tinan mo siya. Ay, shush. Ay, shush. Hanggang ilang segundo lang yan, okay? So, ay shush, naglalaming. Where's your bingbing? Ay sus, okay. Sorry na, naglalambing. Nagme-meditate kasi yung yun. Nagme-meditate kasi si baby, so kailangan niya ng attention. Ay shush, sige, taro-taro tayo dito. Ay, hello Christian. Hello Doc Christian. Ako isa sa mga magiting na frontliner natin. No? Thank you for joining Tarot Tuesday. Baka may tanong ka ha. Send mo na yan, akong bahala sa'yo. So, speaking, tingnan na natin sa next participant natin. May time pa tayo, okay, mag-alala. And, para marami, oh my God, wala pang card ang accurate na. Grabe ka, Mark. Ay, sorry na. Thank you naman. Okay. Thank you. Ayan. Okay. Kasi, ganun nga nangyayari sa akin minsan. Well, oftentimes, ang nangyayari, as I have been comfortable reading energy for the longest time, honestly, yung mga cards, para yun sa inyo. Para for you to see where I am coming from. But honestly, when wisdom is given to me, nagdedire-diretso lang ako. That's why I can do this for hours and hours and hours, and I will keep going. Kasi when I ask a question, flow lang siya ng flow sa akin. And oftentimes, ang nangyayari talaga, bago ko bumunot ng cards, yung mga guidance na binigay ko will already answer that. And I'm happy naman na nag-resonate maigi. Thank you so much. Welcome, syempre. Okay, so tingnan na natin. Next participant natin, tingnan na natin. Here we go. Uy, suki na naman yung ating next participant. Tsaka naku, hindi nakaabot last Thursday. So very good, nakahabol tayo this time. So very good. Good evening, Sir Marky. Sana tonight makahabol. Sakto. I'm currently seeing someone without label. Can you read about my love life? Thank you and God bless. Tingnan natin. So, ganun din yun So, when we talk about yung mga instances yung sa mga questions natin, if how it ends is either a question, either if it's favorable o hindi, alam na natin. At the end of it, your best decision should always be yung priority natin, syempre. Kumbaga, ang bibigay ko lang ito is mga guidance para maitimbang ninyo ng maigi yung pros and cons for you to really see through the energies. But then again, sabi ko nga there are some people na when they ask these questions, kahit na no matter what the possibility will unfold, they will still have to push through dahil plano na o talagang naka-mindset na tayo na gagawin natin. Walang masama. Honestly, hindi ako yung magagalit para tanong ka pa, nagbunot-bunot pa ako, hindi mo naman pala susundin. Hindi po ako ganoon. Honestly, hindi ako ganoon. Dahil at the end of the day, alam ko na no matter, tsaka kahit naman, if I tell you, I give you guidance, I do this, ito makukuha mong ganyan. Of course, at the end of the day, this is not an obligation. These are only mga guidance natin. So by the way, speaking of, pag-usapan na nga natin yan, ha? Pag-usapan natin yung mga ganitong bagay na alam natin minsan, no, we will always have this friend na who will always come to us for yung advice, yung guidance natin. Tapos itotodo natin yung advice. Sasabihin talaga natin na parang, napigan niya ako ng maigi doon, ginalingan ko ng maigi doon. Sabi, sana naman maging favor, sana naman sundin niya yung payo ko, no? Ginalingan ko doon. Tapos malaman mo na hindi pala niya sinunod. Tapos sasabihin natin, nagtanong ka pa. Nag-effort pa ako. Hindi naman pala suso. Ano ba yan? Okay, so, you have to remember na kapag nandun tayo sa mga ganyan sitwasyon, remember, it's always easier. Bakit ba? Minsan, eto din ha. And by the way, I've created an episode to explain this na bakit ba? Bakit pa? Sorry, laking sex bomb kasi ako, sorry. Alam mo na, jopay talaga. So, sabi ko, bakit ba na pag tayo yung hinihinga ng advice, G tayo, ang galing-galing natin magbigay ng advice. Talagang tayo yung lalapitan, alam mo mabibigay mo yung napaka-solid na advice, napakagandang advice, balanse. Tapos pagdating sa sarili natin, ba't parang pag ikaw na yung nasa sa ganung sitwasyon, ba't parang, ano ba yan? Ba't parang hindi mo magawa? I know that. Why? Remember, it's not that when we are in these situations, when we are in yung mga trying times talaga, when life is shaking us, more often than not, alam natin ang gagawin natin. Alam natin ang solusyon. Alam natin kung paano natin haharapin. But whenever we are faced in these situations, sometimes we can't think straight. Minsan ang dami iniisip dito, and minsan marami din tayong, alog. Marami tayong naramdaman. And sometimes, ang mga pinaprocess natin, lalo na sa challenging times, it's a pain and suffering. So imagine, if you are still feeling the pain, how can you think straight? And that is when we need the people, and kaya ka rin makakapagbigay ng balancing advice kasi hindi ikaw yung nandun sa ganung sitwasyon. In short, hindi ikaw yung nakakaranas ng pain and suffering, hindi ikaw yung nakakaranas ng pressure, hindi ikaw yung nakakaranas ng kung anong dinadanas ng taong naghihirap. And so in short, mas madaling magbigay ng balanse na advice kasi wala ka doon. But then again, it does not mean that these people are clueless. It's just that for the meantime, talagang mahirap magdesisyon because maraming iniisip at nararamdaman. And that's when you come in as a friend who will be willing to give an advice. But again, hindi naman sa these people are parang binabaliwala yung advice mo, na binabaliwala yung opinion mo o yung suggestion mo o yung advice mo. Hindi sa hindi binabaliwala. It's just that at the end of the day, no matter kahit gaano kaganda at gaano katotoo at gaano ka-effective at gaano kasolid yung mga advice natin, at the end of the day, syempre sa kanila pa rin ang desisyon. Now, tignan na natin yung ano. Ano nga ba yung tanong? Ang dami ko kasing dalda. Ano nga yung tanong nung ano? Teka. Okay. So yung sa relationship, continue o hindi? Okay. Walang label. Teka. Okay. Can you read about my love life for the rest of this year? Sige, tingnan natin. Ay, pero parang iba na yung tanong dun sa ano. Yung initial na tanong ko. Okay. Okay. Nadagdag lang yung the rest of the year dun sa ano. Sige, tingnan natin. And para mas specific, tingnan natin yung energy nitong dalawa, yung ninyong dalawa dun sa kahit na walang label. Tingnan natin yan. May nakuha na ako. May nakuha na ako agad. Pero tingnan natin sa card. Pero here's my say. Anong tawag dito? Your intuition has always been there. In short, when you see red flags, you see red flags and you've been there. Alam natin yan. But sometimes, and I've read this in one of the Hindu passages na ano, kasi nga I oftentimes, at least may binabasa ako pa isa-isa na about Hinduism. And sometimes, alam na natin what's coming. Alam na natin what's coming, pero we also still allow it. Kahit na alam na natin. In this case, there are already some red flags. And then, you allow it. You're okay with it. That's kaya ka nga naglagay din na you're okay din with the no labels. Para no matter how this unfolds, at least, diba? No strings attached. No labels. But then again, you've seen some telltale signs. You've experienced something that you think alam mong non-negotiable for you, but sige, let's give it a shot. Nandun naman yung decision mo. So ito, tingnan natin na bubunot ako ng card for you. Ayan. Eksakto. 4 of Wands. We have the 4 of Wands. Now, this looks festive, I know. Pero ito, here's the thing. So, when we get Wands again, when we get Wands in our tarot deck, it entails hard work, effort, ganyan. So, what we see is here in front. But there are things at the back na hindi natin nakikita. Okay. So, in short, these are things that we know that is in front of us. Pero we are also, there's a part of us that is uncertain. Am I the only one? Or am I really just getting this? Is it me yung ganyan? And then what you don't see is what is in the background. But a part of you also knows. Or maybe you have an inkling. Or maybe your intuition already tells you. But you're still just okay with it. So in short, walang problema. Walang problema if you're going through it. Walang problema if you say yes to it, to continue it or hindi. Because you have an awareness to it. But then again, you allow it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because again, sabi ko nga here in Tarot Tuesdays and here in our YouTube channel, we're not here to judge your own experiences. Kasi ako din, again, as a person sharing these guidance and wisdom sa inyo, ako din mismo, ang dami kong ganyan. And I'm continuously improving it. I'm in the process of improving it. It's not a perfect life. I just apply yung sarili kong lesson sa binibigay ko sa inyo, yung sinishare ko sa inyo. But I'm not bulletproof on that. I just keep experiencing on my own as well. But then again, my say, take advantage of the time that right now it's at least it's a mutual understanding that it is going to be no labels. You enjoy the company of each other. And then you feel like you're okay with it, no matter there are things that you see there, no matter how there are there's a part of you who would see red flags and see and hear and feel these red flags, and somehow you're still okay with it because somehow, if you're gonna measure it, are you happy? You're happy. And that's what matters. Mas mahirap kasi yung you see the red flags pero at the end hindi ka naman nag-enjoy, you don't see the benefits, you don't feel the benefits, you don't experience any benefit. That's different. But right now you're happy. There may be some things, or there may be something inside of you that tells you, kumalma ka, huwag mo ibigay lahat, huwag mo itodo, because you know it. But then again, there's no judgment on that. So I say, the only question is, so long as you're happy, or until the time that you're until such time that you're continuously feeling the happiness, and then until such time that you feel the opposite, and that's the time that you can judge, wala rin judgment on that. Because at the end of the day, it's always about your happiness. It's not about how other people will be happy about your story o hindi. It's about how you feel. Through it all, ang pinaka-valid experience here is how you are experiencing it. No matter how others are seeing it, they can only see it from afar, but not until they're in that exact equation, and then that can be different, but you're the one in that equation, so okay lang. My say does not matter how others see it. Also, be mindful lang. Be mindful. Tinatrabaho yung ganito. If you would want to take it to the next level, and then syempre, start talking about what you are also expecting, both of you. You are expecting and the person expecting to you, on you, ano ba? In return. It's always a two-way street. Hindi pwedeng mangyayari na parang just your conditions and walang iba. It's always a two-way street. It always takes two to tango. Remember, you guys are dancing. Make it a beautiful, beautiful, graceful dance. Okay? You have to just keep working together. So far, yes, it's working to a certain extent. But of course, it's working with your own agreement. But then again, if you're going to take it a notch higher, then it should be different as well. But so long as you are happy, go ahead. So long as it provides you the happiness, the necessary fulfillment. And again, there is no judgment on how you're experiencing this, because after all, it's your experience that counts most here, not how I see it, not how I perceive it, not how everybody else around you perceives it as well. And you know how it is. You will keep, ganun naman eh. Whether we provide the best decision o hindi, one way or another, people will always have their own perception about it, whether they agree o hindi. And at the end of the day, so long as you've given it a good thought, you've gone through a very thorough process of understanding the whole situation, and hindi ka naman ignorante about the experience, then that's what matters most. My fellow Reiki master is here with us. He is our partner here in our YouTube channel. Si Master Paolo yan. Oh, maraming salamat. Oh. Kumusta ang family? I'm sure you're enjoying there. Mag-enjoy ka lang dyan. Okay? I'm happy that you're here in the background. Experience is valid. Yes, our experiences are always valid. Yung nararamdaman mo ay valid. Yung the way your intuition works, that's also valid. The signs that you're seeing when you ask for it, these are all valid. Lahat yan valid. Kailangan lang maging mindful tayo. Okay? So my say, it always, at the end of the day, will depend on how you experience this. And that's all that matters. And I'm telling you, I'm happy for you. Kasi nararamdaman ko naman yung happiness eh. And I'm happy for you. So be happy din. Thanks for joining Tarot Tuesdays. May time pa tayo. So, tignan na natin yung para mas marami pa tayo masagot. So, idodo na natin. Ay, oh my God, I'm late. Sorry naman. Oh, ay, hello, Damien. Oh, huwag ka mag-alala because you can always do a run through ng mga natin, ng mga videos natin, because anything that we discuss here in our live sessions can always be rewatched. So wag din kayo and I'm sure some of you kapag syempre 'di ba nga yung make you tayo sa natin, no, make you tayo in answering the questions. So some of you minsan you have to do something and multitask during the session. Okay lang. Pwede naman nating balik-balikan yung videos natin every single time. Okay? Oba, nakakatuwa naman dahil yung next participant natin ay bagong participant. Wow, thank you naman. Okay. Hi, good evening, Master. I just want to know anong best way for me to invest money or career that best suits me. Ay, very good. Very good, very good. I have a very different answer for you. Hindi ako bubunot ng cards for that dahil specific yung tanong mo. Ang tanong mo is best suits you. And let me share this. And you know what? This is practically the reason. This is practically the reason why I became Hindu. I embraced Hinduism fully because of this. Itong isi-share ko sa inyo. 2 years ago, we discovered this form of astrology, and it's not the conventional Western astrology that we hear, like yung horoscope natin, okay, makikita natin. That's Western astrology. Especially when you hear planets, Pluto, Neptune, Uranus. This is Western astrology, and 2 years ago, we came across a different form of astrology. It is called Vedic astrology. It's coming from the Hindu tradition, in which backdates more than 10,000 years of ancient knowledge and wisdom. That means, and bakit, anong difference pala? Anong difference ng ano? And recently, si Master Pao na-experience din to, and I'm telling you, it's just mind-blowing. And you experiencing this, by the way, we do this, itong i-share ko sa inyo, we provide this, we have my boyfriend is our in-house Vedic astrologer, so I'm the ones in charge for the intuitive tower reading, pero the Vedic astrology, it's my boyfriend who does it, si Marcel. And bakit magkaiba si Western astrology versus Vedic astrology? Because the Babylonians miscalculated the stars by 22 degrees. Malaki yun, 22 degrees. Why? And how did it happen? How did they miss out that much? Kasi they created very small equipment to measure the stars. Unlike how the Egyptians have built the pyramid. The pyramid is actually an equipment that they use to measure the stars. Imagine that big. The Mayans built the Mayan calendar. Laki din nun. The Hindus built huge sundials to measure everything. And I'm telling you how it is compared. This is, again, more than 10,000 years of ancient knowledge and wisdom. If you compare how Vedic astrology, how they measure the stars, versus how NASA has their advanced equipment measuring the stars, it is only by a few minutes na difference. Ganong ka-accurate. And again, this is ancient knowledge, more than 10,000 years. And how did they come up with that accurately? Because of that, they created huge sundials. So, what is Vedic astrology? In Vedic astrology, anong tawag dito? Kaya ang pinaka-importanting mabigay natin dito is the exact time of birth. Why? Bakit kailangan ng exact time of birth? Because in Vedic astrology, it is believed that when the mother gives birth to the child, and the exact time, di ba pag naiire na yung bata, hindi naman sila humihinga inside of the womb of the mother. They don't breathe. But then again, pag nalabas na sila yun, that's the time, di ba, tandaan mo, bago sila umiyak, babalan muna sila, yung gano'n, ganda na acting ko doon, no? Pwede yung pangkapuso, di ba, ganda na acting, ganda na acting ko. So, at the very first gasp of air, that's the time that the soul enters the body of the child. And then, once it does, at the whatever is the constellation rising in the east during the time of birth, at the first gasp of air, is, kung ano mang constellation nun, is the actual sign of our, that will play a huge role in our life. Now, in Vedic astrology, what will be provided is your actual life map, past, present, and future. And look at it this way, para siyang isang MRT line. Okay, so it's a huge MRT line. Look at it this way, para siyang SM the Block hanggang Pasay, na isang buong stretch. Yun yung MRT line, yun yung buhay mo, yun yung life map mo, from SM the Block hanggang Pasay. And remember, the stops in between, the stations in between, yun yung mga given milestones in your life that will reflect, nakalatag na siya, past, present, and future. Now, we have to also remember that, yes, maganda yung train, very convenient, very fast, yung gano'n. But remember, if we're literally wanting to go from SM the Block, SM the Block, mali pa rin, the Block, Ano ba? Nakaiba. SM The Block. Yun. Yan, SM North. Yun na lang. Safe. So, nasa SM North ka, kung ang goal talaga is pumunta ka ng Pasay, remember, yes, you can take the MRT. Pero remember, kung nasa SM The Block ka, kumaliwa ka, ending mo, Makati pa rin. Kumanan ka, ending mo, doon pa din. It's just a matter of which routes you will take, in which tarot can provide that. Yung, look at it this way, para siyang Waze. Pag dumaan ka dito, 45 minutes, walang traffic, yung yun. Dumaan ka dito, 3 oras, so yung traffic, yung ganun. That is where tarot reading comes into play. Kung anong steps yung gagawin mo. But it will always end up in the same place. It's just a matter of what experiences you would want to experience and you're willing to experience. Because you know what? Nakalagay doon anything and everything about your family life. How it unfolded in your childhood. The blessings or the challenges. Also, doon din nakalagay. If most important question, soulmate nakalagay din doon. Ibibigay sa iyo yung how the personality, the trait of the soulmate, it will be given there. Also, specific businesses na talagang papatok sa iyo because depende on what planet, mostly yung the constellation rising in the east during that time, it has a ruling planet na yung ruling planet will have specific traits, specific vibration na pag nakuha mo yung vibration niyan, yun yung pinakapapatok sa'yo. So, there are people na may makikita kayong stories na ganyan. Yung tipong first attempt pa lang, either corporate or they started doing their business, first attempt, bumulusok agad yung career. If they're in the corporate, dire-diretso yung promotion. Or if they are in the business, talagang tuloy-tuloy. Nag-branch out, nag-expand, naging millionaire, naging billionaire. Isang try pa lang, nag-hit agad. Why? Because intuitively, nadala nila doon. Ay, promote ko lang Vedic reading ni Baby. Super accurate and flowing. I'm living it right now. Everyone should have theirs. Ay, thank you, Master. Sabi ko sa'yo, it's literally life-changing. And that is also the main reason why I fully embrace Hinduism because ang kailangan mo lang naman is to understand how your life has been planned and mapped out and for you to be at peace with it. And for you to understand na may mga kailangan lang tayong daanan. Yung mga may kailangan lang tayong ma-experience sa life natin. That again, parang kanina yung sinabi ko nga, no matter who we meet in our life, they will always present us lessons and so does our own experiences in life. And remember, our own experience will teach us something. Either we become bitter about it or we use it as a stepping stone for us to be better as a person. And the key there is, the only key that will be given to you is once your life map is given to you, for you to be at peace with it. And then you build trust with it kasi may mga divine timing tayo dyan. And alam mo, in Vedic astrology, it also provides the necessary timelines. We call it the dasha, or these are the time periods in our life we're in. Na meron ka rin makikita, may mga stories ka makikita na from rags to riches or from riches to rags because of these certain timelines. And merong mga timelines na iba-iba depending on the planet. Merong 4-year period, may 5-year, 7-year period, merong 13-year, 19-year period, 18-year period. So, may mga instances na isang mahabang, by the way, I'm experiencing the peak of my it's the peak of hindi pa to yung pinaka peak after pa nito, dalawang dashes pa yung but eto na yung jump start nung how my life is really gonna unfold. And I have 7 years to make everything structured, and after that I'm going to experience a 19-year period na talagang aalugin yung buhay ko. And I'm so happy that this is recorded, that I can always go back to this episode right now and lahat tayo sabay-sabay natin, we will rewatch this episode because in 2025, I will be experiencing a shift. And Master Pao knows this. I will be experiencing a shift in my life that it will be a turning point in my life. Sa totoo lang. Initially, in a nutshell, I was afraid of it because it was so challenging to bear. Knowing na you're experiencing, imagine, 7 good years na you are very much doing well, only to shake your life to the core for another 19 years. And hindi biro, hindi siya 2 buwan, hindi siya 1 taon, 19 years. But when you get to prepare and to anticipate it well, the preparation becomes more meaningful. That no matter what is ahead, may warning ka na, you can prepare ahead. And that also goes to sa career, sa chosen ano. So I say, for me to only answer this directly is for you to have a session. And the key is for you to have the exact time of birth. Without it, hindi natin siya makukuha. Why? Because every 2 hours, the constellations will always change and rotate. Every 2 hours, nagbabago yan. And you'll be surprised. In cases of twins, in which my sisters are twins, magkaiba sila ng ugali. Yes, there are similarities, pero if you're gonna look at it, there is a huge difference in the personality. Why? Because yung eldest namin, my eldest sister, she was born natural yung delivery. So it was ano ang tawag dito um what's a normal delivery. But then again, nung palabas na yung ano, yung second, yung middle na kapatid namin, yung sister ko, isa, ang una lumabas kamay. And my mom was really trying her best na to deliver it normal delivery. Pero 2 hours pa siya nag-labor. Tinatry niya, ina-attempt niya to do it ng 2 hours. But then again, after 2 hours, sinabi na talaga ng doktor, emergency C-section na hindi na talaga kaya. And then that's a time. And imagine it's a 2 hour difference. Nag-shift na yung alignment ng stars by then. Kaya magkaiba sila ng ano, ng personality. And so, even in their career, magkaiba din yung magfo-flourish sa kanila. Because of that, every planet will deliver a vibration in which pag nakuha mo siya in your career, and then it will guarantee you magtutuloy-tuloy na. For you to really know it is to have a session. And that is it's a very meaningful na session because it really makes you understand not just what your life is about, but how you are as a person and be at peace with it. And to understand your life and be at peace with it. And understand your family and be at peace with it. And yung career mo and be at peace with it. And your soulmate and then be at peace with it. Because every single lesson that you will encounter in the astrology reading will present lessons to make you understand why things unfolded in your life in the past, why it is unfolding now, and what more to expect in the future. Lalo na the planetary periods, the dashas. These are important times. Kasi you know what? There are dashas na kapag hindi favorable yung planet, and sa akin ganun yun in 2025, I will transition to another planet and hindi siya favorable for me, which entails vehicular accidents. And nakalagay siya, it's down to the specific time, hour, minute. So in short, in 2025, that's October 8, 2025, hindi ako pwedeng lumabas ng bahay, hindi ako pwedeng magmaneho ng sasakyan ko, bawal ako mag-travel basically. Because it will entail vehicular accidents for me. Pag ginawa ko yun, ma-aksidente ako. And I don't want that. And again, see imagine how amazing that is. That you get to prepare down to the very last experience that you need to. I highly recommend it, and that practically changed my life as well. And one of the reasons why, since it's coming from the Vedic, in the Hindu tradition, we started digging deeper about what Hinduism is about, and then we put everything together, and then we're like, wow, imagine how the universe will always bring you back where you're supposed to be. And now I'm here, and now I'm sharing it, and now I'm sharing that experience because it's really something that changed my life forever, along with Reiki. So I say, if you would want that, let's talk offline, and for the rest of you who may want to experience Vedic astrology, mag-message tayo. Yung mga ano natin sa Mega World, sila Rain, sila Laril yan, mga nag-Vedic astrology na yan, and they've experienced really amazing things. So I say, if you would really want that as well, para ma-prepare natin yung life map ninyo, go ahead and let's discuss that offline, and akong bahala sa inyo. Sa haba ng chismis ko na naubos na yung time natin, napa-overtime pa ako. So that is it for our session for tonight. Sa mga hindi nakasali ngayon, wag po kayo mag-alala. We have one more in our Thursday night. So that's our Tarot Thursdays. Join us again, same time, same channel. And also let me also remind everybody, kung hindi nyo pa napapanood yung weekly tarot reading, nako, panoorin natin dahil ang dami na naman nating matututunan doon. There are blessings. Today may malaking blessing pero may warning din So kung hindi nyo napanood, naku, panoorin ninyo para again, mas prepared tayo. The more prepared we are, mas lesser yung impact natin. But for now, this has been Marky Mendoza again. Laging nagpapaalala sa lahat. Alam niyo na, keep trusting the process. Namaskaram, everybody. Maraming salamat for spending time with us. I'll see you Thursday uli Thursday tayo for Tarot Thursdays. But for now, maraming salamat. Have a great night. God bless you all.